What's up YouTube, Dan for wargames, bringing you my pure Lightsworn deck profile. Now by pure what I mean is it doesn't have the zombie engine and it does solely focus around getting JD on the board. It is maybe not the most powerful version, but it is the most pure version. So without further ado, I'll take you through the deck profile and show you what we've got. So you start off with 2 JD. 3 can be a little bit too cloggy. You will have the ability in the deck to slightly search out JD, but you also have the ability in the deck to want it later game. You don't want to see it early game, otherwise it does become an even more dead card in the hand, especially when you're playing like Wolf, Felice, the Predaplant engine, and of course Garnet. They can become dead in your hand, so you want to try and minimise that risk as best as you possibly can. We've got 2 Raiden hand of Lightsworn. The reason we've got 2 is because we have got Rhoda. So Rhoda can kind of help you deck fin, especially in a 41 card deck. And on top of that, we do have Goblinberg. So Rhoda provided us 2 usage, where a 3rd Raiden, sometimes you want it a little bit later game if you open up both of them. But, you know, 2 might seem to be about enough. Triple Wolf, Triple Brick. Obviously always going to be a pain in the arse if you open up this card, and will be dead 90% of the time, but ideally you want 3 in there, because if you ever mill 3 of these off of any of your mills, or if you mill multiples, your board starts to flood and your game is just going on for days. 2 Luminar, again 3 can be a little bit cloggy. 2 is more than enough, because again you want it a little bit late game. You want to have something in the grave once you normal summon this to then discard like any of your brick cards, and then revive what you need, especially your Raidens. Double Felice, again the exact same thing, bit of a brick but you want to mill it, so you could possibly play this at 1 if you wanted to, but at 2 it gives you a bit more opportunity as well, and then its own tribute effect isn't that bad, as well as being a tuner. Then for the finishing off the Lightsworns, you've got the 1 Minerva. Again, this is your part searcher for your JD, as well as a miller, and of course another tuner. We've then got the plant engine of 3 Lone Fire, 2 Scorpio, and 1 Cobra. Now, the reason we're playing Scorpio at 2 is because you want to get to your Lone Fire first. You want to burn through your deck fin a little bit more, then get into your Scorpio, and then you want to minimise your risk of bricking. Yes, it is very, very important to get the plant engine going, but not as important to help extend your bricks. So you've got to be very, very careful with the level that you put in, and this ratio works out perfectly for me. You want Cobra to stay in the deck. You want to get to Lone Fire as soon as you possibly can. You want to deck fin as best you possibly can and go straight into Cobra. If you want to, because it is a 41 card deck, you could take out the 3 Lone Fire just to minimise yourself of decking yourself out, and then increase Scorpio to 3. But then obviously once you've used the first Scorpio, it does become dead. Then of course you've got your other brick, which is Garnet. And then we've got the 1 Heroic Challenger, because this just combos off massively nicely to get into your MX Xavier Invoker, your Mrs. Raiden, and then of course your Curious, as well as providing you with the ability to flood the board a little bit more as well. Then we've got 2 Goblinbergs, we've got 3 Fairy Tale Snow. This could possibly be the game winner 9 times out of 10, especially if you combo it off with Giant Rex. On top of that, you've got your Trick Clown, which helps you extend your Brilliant Fusion combo. And of course, your Eclipse Wyvern, again, being a light, you get to then banish your JD, and then banish it off of Snow quite easily to then get your JD back to hand. So you can get JD when and when you please it. So a fairly hefty monster lineup, but the majority of these monsters are all very, very useful. And they all provide to go towards JD, as well as going towards winning you the game. Now onto the spells, we've got Triple Charge. Again, this helps mill as well as draw and search. Search. You've got Solar Recharge, which again helps you discard, draw, and then mill. So they're all very, very consistent in this deck. Triple Brilliant Fusion, mill, and give you an additional normal summon. And then you've got the 1 Solar Recharge, which can be a match winner. The 1 Foolish Burial, which again can get rid of the dead cards in deck, so you get to turbo out your wolves to the grave. And then of course the 1 Monster Reborn to bring back any of your monsters you wish apart from JD. And then of course the 1 Reinforcements of the Army to search out either your Goblinberg 9 times out of 10, which is what you'll be going for, or of course your Raiden. Very straightforward on the spell lineup. You could put some traps in here if you want, but you want to be going a little bit faster and increase your consistency as best as you possibly can. Now onto the extra deck, we played double Minerva, the Exalted Lightsworn, incredibly powerful card. Mill to draw, and then when it gets sent from field by your opponent's card effect, or destroyed I believe the wording is, it then gets to mill and pop, so you know, what's not to love about that. Your 1 MX Saber Invoker for your Predaplant play, and then going into your Heroic Challenger, and then moving forward into Mischievous Radiant. Your Bujinki Amaterasu, bringing back your banished cards as well as adding back to your hand as well as special summoning them. Your 1 Baguska for those slow turns, the Tornado Dragon for the back row. This can easily be a Abyss Dweller or any kind of other monster you feel might fit into your personal version better. The Synchros, we've got the 1 Michael and the 1 Omega. Omega to help recycle your banished cards off snow. Michael to be able to mill and banish, so they're both very powerful. And then for your links, you've got your Underclock Taker, you've got your Mischievous Radiant. Underclock gets past Ibly. Mischievous Radiant becomes the Earth booster, not that you need it necessarily. Can't even speak English these days. So you can use it as a step up. And of course it helps you recycle some of your Earth should you need to, not that you 9 times out of 10 will. Curious the Lightsworn Dominion, very, very powerful card in this deck. It's very easy to get 3 monsters with the same attribute but different types. That's not too hard to do at all. And then of course it's got loads of effects like the mills, the draws, the sends, it's got everything. They've got 1 Topological Trispania. Now this can easily be a decode. The reason I've got Trispania is because of Autogeist out there, so it does give you that alternative option. But like I said, decode is probably a bit more consistent. It's really down to personal preference. And then Link 4s, because they are game winners, is Borreload and Saruja. And then finishing off with the 1 Seraphonite for that additional normal zone, which helps boost your game further forward, and of course helps push your deck that little bit further forward and a bit more consistency while you're battling it out. So again, that is very straightforward deck profile, straightforward and simple. If you do have any questions, do put them in the comments below. I'm more than happy to help answer those. Like I said, the zombie engine does of course add a huge amount of consistency to the deck and a lot more power, but some people don't actually like that and they just want the pure version, which is why I'm bringing you my take on that. But for now, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and as always guys, happy dueling. What's up YouTube, thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button, and of course don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings and many more Yu-Gi-Oh videos coming up for you all year round, so don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always guys, happy dueling.